Let's jump into Unit 5. We're going to talk about special events, and we're going to learn about adverbial clauses using before, after, and when. So we're going to do a couple things. Let's be able to talk about special events, so we're going to need some vocabulary. Also, we'll be able to use some adverbial clauses when talking about those special events. Okay, so let's do a little bit of partner warm-up. You guys can do this on your own time if you want to. If you want to just practice your English, go ahead and jump into these and ask your friends these questions and just start a conversation. Okay, you can do that in your own time. So we're just going to go ahead and move on and go over your important vocabulary. So why don't you guys open your books to page 30 and we'll go over your Unit 5 vocabulary. Okay, so here we go. We're on page 30 in your book. Okay, and we're talking about weddings. So maybe you guys have gone to some weddings before, or maybe you've secretly had a wedding. So let's check out some vocabulary, shall we? Alright, so remember, all these vocabularies are talking about special events, namely a wedding. So let's go over these. So if you look at number 1, okay, we know who she is. She is the bride of the wedding. And who does a bride get married to? Okay, who does she get married to? She gets married to a groom, which is number 3. But what is this that she's wearing right now? What is that called? Okay, of course that is called a wedding dress. So number 2 is D. Okay, wedding dress. Okay, number 3, as I asked before, who does a bride get married to? She gets married to a groom. A groom. So number 3 is groom. Okay, so number 3 is B. Okay, 4, you notice that her friend is looking at this lovely thing down here on her hand. Okay, what in the world is that? Well, we know that that is a ring. Okay, that is a ring. So number 4 is C. Okay, number 5. Okay, 5, this is the woman here who's looking at her ring. Okay, and the woman who is looking at her ring, of course, what is it that she's doing, or what is she wearing, or what is it that she has, or what is she, who is she? Okay, we've got a number of different choices up here, and she's here to see the wedding. So when somebody's there to see the wedding, she is a guest. Okay, she is a wedding guest. So number 5 is E. That's a pretty sad looking E right there, but it is an E. Okay, here, this thing right here, okay, this double decker, it's usually pretty yummy. I really enjoy this part of the wedding, and that is a wedding cake. Okay, wedding cake. Okay, so number 6 is wedding cake. Number 7, up here in the sky. If anybody's ever been to Busan Bridge or been to Pohang during the summertime, usually they have a fireworks display. Okay, Pulko Chukche. Okay, in Pohang there, that is a fireworks there. So that is H. Okay, number 8, this thing down here on the table, that is a candle. Candle, so that is K. Okay, number 9. Okay, this says congratulations on it. Congratulations, and it's usually made out of paper, so of course that is a wedding card or an invitation card, so that is J. Okay, number 10. Okay, all of these things here, something that I really enjoy receiving myself. Okay, those are presents. Okay, presents. Everybody enjoys getting presents, I believe. If you don't, wow, you must be an alien or something like that, so I don't know. And number 11 right here, this of course is a wedding bouquet. Okay, it is a bouquet of flowers. So there you go, those are your words for Unit 5. Okay, make sure you guys get those answers properly. You understand what each of those are. Okay, so let's jump down here to exercise number 2. Okay, exercise 2. What do we have here? Okay, we're going to use the words from activity 1 and complete the paragraph. Okay, about the weddings in the U.S. So the bride usually wears a white what? What does she usually wear? Okay, this is a white dress. Okay, usually wears a white dress. Okay, and carries a bouquet of flowers. Bouquet of flowers. She and the blah blah blah. Who does she get married to? This guy right here, the groom. She and the groom invite, who's this person here? E, guests. Invite guests for the wedding. So let's look at this again. The bride usually wears a white dress and carries a bouquet of flowers. She and the groom invite guests for the ceremony and a reception afterwards. People usually give their blah blah blah. What are these things over here? They are the presents. Usually give their presents to the couple at the reception and eat a piece of wedding wedding cake. Sometimes there are beautiful fireworks. So second part of this, people usually give their presents to the couple at the reception and eat a piece of wedding cake. Sometimes there are beautiful fireworks. Okay, I suppose there might be beautiful candles too, but okay, it's very exciting. We have an exclamation point here, so we're talking about fireworks. Okay, so there you guys go. You know the routine. Those are the words that we're going to need to know for this unit. So here they are. Hopefully you guys understand all of these. There are a couple extra ones right here, like grapes and lucky bags, things that you give to wedding couples to make sure that their wedding turns out okay, that their marriage is okay. And mistletoe is a type of plant that people usually kiss under. You hang the mistletoe up above the doorway or up on the ceiling, and people who get underneath the mistletoe usually have to kiss each other. Okay, so there you go. Those are your vocabulary words for Unit 5. Okay, so now you'd want to do a little conversation practice. Okay, and we could do this if we wanted to, but since we're just going over this review, it's really up to you. You guys can probably jump into a little group yourself on your free time if you want to be really cool, and you can do this little exercise about festivals. Okay, festivals. So if you do get in a group, each person in the group is going to get their own card, okay, which describes a certain festival in a different country. Like, here's a festival in Spain, a festival in Thailand, and a festival in Germany. So each one of you in your group would get a card, and you would read it to each other. So you'd first read the story, and then you'd ask the other students questions about it. And of course, the student who gets the answers, who gets the most answers, wins. Okay, so you could do that if you want to, but we're just going to jump right ahead and jump into our grammar here. Okay, all right, let's talk a little bit about grammar. Okay, this is a pretty easy concept. We're talking about adverbial clauses. Okay, and this grammar is going to be on your test, so make sure that you guys study this. So go ahead and jump into Unit 3 grammar on page 32. Let's look at page 32. Okay. Like I said, this is a pretty simple concept here when we're talking about using before, after, and when. Okay, you'll see that oftentimes this is called an adverbial clause here. Before the wedding begins, you can see that that will go after the subject and after the verb of the sentence, but sometimes it also comes at the beginning of the sentence as well. So starting with the adverbial clause or adverbial phrase or whatever, we have this word, which is an adverb, of course, and you can see here it comes at the end, before the wedding begins, and it comes at the beginning, before the party started. Okay, so either way you can see that before, when, and after, both of those can be at the beginning or they can be at the end. Okay, so it's really up to you. If you use it at the beginning, okay, if it's at the beginning, you notice that there's a comma here. You got to have that comma. Okay, if it starts at the beginning, you must have this comma in there, or it is incorrect. Okay, it is incorrect. Okay, so make sure you have that. Okay, let's go over these. Okay, let's jump into exercise 1. Okay, complete the sentences with before, after, or when. Okay, it's at the beginning of a sentence. So, when Carlos had a birthday, we threw him a surprise party. When Carlos had a birthday. Okay, let's jump number 2. Okay, blah blah blah, he came to the door, we all shouted, surprise! Okay, so what would we use here? Well, we could probably use when, or probably after. When he opened up the door, that's when you burst out and you yell surprise. So our best answer for number 2 would probably be after. After he came to the door, we all shouted surprise. Okay, and it should be after he came through the door. You got to open the door first. Okay. Okay, number 3. We sang happy birthday, blah blah blah. He blew out the candles. He blew out the candles. Okay, so do you sing happy birthday before you blow out the candles or after you blow out the candles? Okay, usually you sing happy birthday before you blow out the candles. So here we sang happy birthday before he blew out the candles. Okay, then the last one, blah blah blah, he opened his gifts. He sent thank you cards. Okay, he sent thank you cards. So after you open up your gifts, you will send thank you card to the guests who come to your birthday party. Okay, so let's take a look at these answers here. Looks like they use when for number 2 here, and I wouldn't necessarily agree with that. Okay, when he came to the door, we all shouted surprise. When he came to the door, after he came through the door, that's kind of a tricky one there, but I guess they said that when is probably better. Okay, number 3 is before, number 4 is after. Okay, so let's make sure we get that correct. Okay, next part here, part number 2. Match the information to make complete sentences. This is probably pretty easy for you guys. When I have a problem, I talk to my best friend. Okay, I have a problem, I talk to my best friend. You can see here there might be a little bit of hint. If there's a comma before and after, you might have a choice here. See, there's no comma here, so we'll probably know that it's going to be one of those adverbial clauses that goes after. Okay, I felt really angry. Okay, no comma. After I read her terrible email, before I come to class. Okay, we've only got really 2 choices here, don't we? So when do you feel angry? Usually after a terrible email. Okay, so number 2 here would be A. Okay. Number 3, I try to look good. Okay, here we don't have a comma here. So what would we use? When I go to a party or before I come to class? Well, some people, well, I guess they try to look good before they come to class. I usually did it when I was a student, but I would say B probably fits best there because it is definitely an adverbial phrase that comes next, and we have an adverb here. Okay. Before I went home, we don't have, we already have a comma here, so we just need a regular sentence. Okay, before I went home, I bought some flowers. Before I went home, I talked to my best friend. Okay, before I went home, I went to another one. Well, that doesn't make any sense there. I talked to my best friend. If you'd say I did that, well, you'd have to use the past. So F is definitely going to fit there because we're going to have to use the past when it comes to that. Okay, before I went home, I bought some new flowers. I bought some new flowers. After I left your party, I went to another one. Okay, I went to another one. Okay, we're still talking about the past here, so of course we're going to use C in this situation here. Okay, and last one here. I don't eat breakfast. I don't eat breakfast. We don't have a comma, so we've got to have those adverbial phrases, right? I don't eat breakfast. There's only one choice left. Before I come to class. Okay, I don't eat breakfast before I come to class. So there we go. Okay, those are your answers for number 2. Let's make sure that they are correct. Okay, because I don't want you guys yelling at James if I got a wrong answer. Okay, so there we go. We should fit in very properly, and there it is. Okay. All right. Well, part 3 would be done with a pair, with a partner, and unfortunately we don't have a partner right there unless you want to go find somebody and act really cool and speak English and practice your English with them. Otherwise, that's our grammar. Okay, so make sure that you study grammar for Unit 5. It's definitely going to be on your test. Oakley dokley. Alright, let's go ahead and move on. Okay, we're going to jump into our next part here. And again, we have another conversation practice. You guys could do this practice if you want to, but it's really up to you. So I will let you guys decide. Okay, this is just another exercise that you guys can probably do with a friend here. Okay, so I'll let you guys decide for yourself if you want to do that. But it's basically setting up with a couple of friends, with a few friends, and asking each other these questions. Okay, and trying to learn a little bit more. Okay, but there you go. That's your extra conversation practice for you guys. Okay, so that's all for Unit 5. Let's double up here. We're going to jump into Unit 6. Okay, and we're going to see what we have to study for Unit 6. And we're talking about suggestions, and we're talking about obligations. Okay, that's our concept here, and we're going to use the grammar point, should have, and have to when we're giving suggestions to other people. Okay, so a couple of things we're going to do. We're going to learn to be able to talk about suggestions and obligations, and be able to use should and have to when talking about those suggestions and obligations. Okay, so again, we're going to skip the warm-up here. We're going to skip that, and we're going to jump into some vocabulary. So again, let's take your books out. Okay, let's jump to page 36, and let's check out this vocabulary that you guys have for Unit 6. Okay, here we go. Okay, not much to do really in this unit when it comes to vocabulary. So let's go ahead and just check this out. Same as usual. Okay, we're talking about giving advice. So we're going to learn some different activities about what you should probably do to become healthy or lose some weight or something like that. Anything that you're going to use to give advice to somebody. Excuse me. Alright, so let's take a look at this. Number one, we've already got an answer here. What should you do? Okay, what should you do? You should try this. Okay, you should try this. Well, he's sitting on the chair and he's watching TV all the time, so maybe he should be a little bit more active. Okay, we would think about that. So right now he's a little bit inactive. Okay, he's being inactive right now. So maybe he should get up a little bit more and he should go exercise or go for a walk or something like that. So number one right here, he is inactive, to be inactive, to be inactive. Okay, number two right here. Okay, what's going on here? Okay, it looks like the sun is going down, or I don't know, maybe she stayed up all night. Okay, what did she do? What should she do? Well, right now she's probably staying indoors all day. Okay, staying indoors all day. No, that's not a good thing to do, right? So she would need to go out and get some exercise just like this guy. Go out, go for a walk, go meet some friends, get out of the house. Don't stay indoors all day. We don't want that. Okay, number three. What about this guy here? Looks pretty good to me. Looks like he's got some Dunkin' Donuts and some French fries and some pizza and a milkshake. Ooh, he's eating very hearty. Okay, but is this good food? Is that good food? No, it's probably unhealthy food, right? So he's eating unhealthy food. He maybe need to eat some more vegetables. Okay, go out and get some exercise, eat some good food. Okay, instead of this unhealthy food. So right now he's eating unhealthy food. He should eat better. Okay, what about this person right here? She looks really, really stressed, doesn't she? Okay, he's going. He's a little bit freaked out. She's stressed. So she needs to learn how to relax. But right now we can see that she is really kind of stressed out. So don't get stressed out. Try to calm down. Try to relax. Okay, take good care of your health. Okay, don't get angry or frustrated. Oh, here we go. We've got some good activity going on here. Okay, what is she doing? Well, she's running on a treadmill. So she probably is getting some exercise here. Okay, exercise. Whoa, my E's aren't very good with this little thing here. So we're going to try to work on that a little bit. Okay, what about him? What do you think he's doing? I wouldn't say that this is, well, I'm not going to say anything, but if this was probably sold, the air would probably not be so good. But you can see he's out in the country, you know, there are butterflies and trees and birds. So he's probably outside trying to get some fresh air. Okay, fresh air. So we'll give him a C on that one. Okay. How about this guy? He looks like he's eating pretty well. He's got some vegetables and he's got some green stuff and some red stuff, and looks like he's trying to eat very well. Okay, so this looks fresh from the garden. So I'd say he's cooking fresh food. Cooking fresh food, sure. Okay, so A, and last one, only one choice. Okay, what is she doing? What is she doing? Is she exercising? No, she's listening to some music here. She's probably meditating. She's trying to relax. Okay, she's trying to relax. Okay, so let's give her a G here. GG. Okay, there we go. So there are your activities. These are the activities that we need to focus on and the ones that we need to know for Unit 6. Okay, so here are your words for Unit 6. There they are. And let's see, there is a couple more, and meditation was what that one girl was doing there. She was doing some meditation, but she was trying to relax. Okay, table tennis. Okay, taku, and we got tai chi. Okay, tai chi, if anybody's ever heard of tai chi before, you probably know what that is. Okay, so again, there's your answer key for Unit 6. Make sure that you guys have your correct answers and know that these are your answers for Unit 6. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on. Okay, again, it's the same as the previous unit. We could probably do some exercises here, and again, you would need to get into a group with some students and do this activity here, and I'll just show you the quick activity. But since we don't have time and we're not going to have the ability to do it, this is what you're going to be doing if you decide to study English with a partner and go out and learn some things with a friend. Okay, there you go. So what you would really do with this, you would get into a group of 3 people, and you guys could sort of practice your English a little bit. Like I said, you guys know the routine. Everybody gets one of those pieces of paper. Okay, offer suggestions to each other, but we're going to go ahead and just skip that part, and we're going to jump right back into the grammar here, and we're going to learn about some things like suggestions. Okay, but we're not going to do that. And unfortunately, that says adverbial clauses, but we're not really going to do that. Okay, that was actually Unit 5. My mistake. Okay, what we are going to learn is we're going to learn the Unit 6. We're talking about should have and have to, so we're going to be using something called a modal. Okay, a modal is used to give suggestions with people, for people. Okay, so when we're trying to give suggestions, affirmative suggestions, we're going to use should, ought to, or had better. Okay, something like this. You should get some exercise. You ought to get some exercise. You had better get some exercise. All of these mean the same thing. Okay, you're just politely and affirmatively trying to give advice to people. Okay, making negative suggestions with should, ought to, or had better plus not. Okay, plus not. Here we're using negative ones. Okay, you should not eat so much junk food, like that guy with the donuts and the pizza and the french fries. You ought not to eat so much junk food, and you had better not eat so much junk food. Okay, here's a note that we need to keep in mind here. With should and had better, not comes after the modal verb. Okay, with should and ought, okay, with should and had better, you'll notice that not comes after. Okay, not comes after. Ought, okay, ought to, it comes in the middle. Okay, so ought to, you make a sandwich. Okay, here I am talking about not eating junk food and I'm making a sandwich. Okay, ought to, you got to put not in between there. So with ought to, not comes between ought and to. Okay, so you should not eat so much junk food. You had better not eat so much junk food, and you ought not to eat so much junk food. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, making obligations, talking about obligations. Obligation can be expressed with had to or must. Okay, you're obligated, you're required, you must do it, you have to do that. Okay, have to and must are the same in affirmative statements and in questions. Okay, toketeo, they're the same. Okay, you have to wear a uniform, you must wear a uniform. Okay, you have to, it's imperative, it is required. Okay, do I have to wear a uniform? Must I wear? Go away. Must I wear a uniform? Okay, negative forms of have to and must do not have the same meaning. Do not. Okay, you do not. You don't have to call her. You must not call her. Okay, in this one, you don't need to. Okay, it's your choice. You have a choice. Okay, you can call her or you don't want to call her. Okay, you have a choice in this situation. Here, you don't have a choice. Okay, it's almost like a command. Okay, do not call her. Okay, so here we have two different meanings here. Here you got a choice. Okay, here you don't have a choice. Okay, it's imperative. It's required. It's a command. Okay, so there you go with that. Okay, so let's take a look at this exercise here. Form sentences and questions using should, had better, ought to, have to, and must. Okay, should eat meat every day. Okay, here we have a question mark here, question mark. Okay, so you're going to ask a question about that. Okay, how do you do that? You ask a question. Okay. Well, let's check this out. Should I eat meat every day? Okay, should I eat meat every day? Well, you probably shouldn't, or you ought not to eat meat every day. Okay. Do yoga, ought to, 3 times a week. She, we'll unscramble this. Okay. She ought to do yoga 3 times a week. She ought to do yoga 3 times a week. You're giving advice. Okay, it'd be a good idea to stay healthy. Okay, not they drink so much coffee had better. Okay, what do you think? They had better not drink so much coffee. They had better not drink so much coffee. Okay, that would be a very bad thing. Probably I drink too much coffee, so I had better not drink so much coffee. Okay, last one here, another question. Okay, so we're probably going to start it with one of our modals. Okay, so where's our modal here? Okay, we don't have a modal like this here, so we're going to have to use a question word. Okay, have to, does he eat all his vegetables? Okay, does, I'm going to start with does this time. Does he have to eat all of his vegetables? Does he have to eat all of his vegetables? Yes, he does. If he wants to stay healthy and be in good shape, okay, and have a nice healthy body, yes. Okay, so there you go. This was just a word order exercise here where you have to rearrange things. Okay, so there you go. That is your concept of your not the adverbial clauses, but your suggestions and your obligations. Okay, so that'll be on your test as well. Okay, so there you guys go. Okay, let's look at page 38. Okay, for our last exercise. Okay, let's check this out. Okay, exercise 1 and 2. Again, this time we're going to be using these words, our modals, okay, and fill in the blanks. Okay, look up here at the word box. That always helps out. This grammar box here is always a good thing to check out. Okay, so complete the sentences with should, shouldn't, have, has to, or doesn't have, or doesn't have to. Okay. To be healthy, we should sleep 7 or 8 hours a night. Wow, that'd be very nice to be able to do that. Okay, I have a car, so I blah 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 walk to work, but I still walk for exercise. Okay, I have a car, so do they need to walk? No, this person, I don't have to walk. Okay, I have a car, so I don't have to walk to work, but I still walk for exercise. Okay, number 3, you blah 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 drinks so much soda every day, it's bad for you. Okay, they're telling somebody to stop doing something. Okay, you shouldn't drink so much soda every day, it's bad for you. Stop doing that. Okay, it's really, really bad. Let me take some right now. Cola. Okay, number 4, my sister is really busy. She blah 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 write 10 essays before the semester ends. Oh my goodness, she is really busy. Okay, so it looks like she is required to do something. So in this situation, she has to. Okay, she has to write 10 essays before the semester ends. Okay, so those are your answers for part 1. Okay, make sure that you guys understand those concepts here. Remember, you got suggestions and you've got obligations here. Okay, so make sure that you guys get them correct. So number 1, of course, is should. Number 2, don't have to. I have a car, so I don't have to walk. And number 3, giving suggestions. Okay, you shouldn't drink so much. You shouldn't drink so much. And last one, she has to write 10 because she's so busy. Okay, those are your answers for part 1. Okay, part 2, match the information to complete sentences. Okay, let's do that. We have to pay the fees before we take the class. Okay, before we take the class. So let's see what kind of suggestions and obligations are here. We should warm up, blah blah blah, or we got a modal verb right here. So we know that this has got to be a question, don't we? Okay, we got a question here. So we've only got 2 questions. Okay, so should we warm up to join the gym? Nah, that's really strange right there. Okay, you warm up before you exercise, right? Okay, so should you warm up before we exercise? Okay, so number 2 right there should be A. Okay, should be A. All right, number 3, you should get some fresh air. You should go outside. Okay, go walking. Okay, go outside, get some fresh air, because you've been indoors all day. Okay, because you've been indoors all day, just like that girl on the computer. Okay, get out, go get some fresh air. Get some fresh air. Okay, we want to try to stay healthy and not being inside, be a Bangkok all day. We don't want that. Okay, so number 3 is D. You shouldn't exercise. You shouldn't exercise when? Before we take the class? Before we take the class? Well, I would say that's probably correct. Because if you exercise, or you shouldn't exercise, if you exercise before class, you'll probably be tired. Okay, and you won't be able to study very well. So you really shouldn't exercise before we take the class. Okay. Oh, that was a very good E that time. Very, very nice. Okay, you don't have to go on a diet to do what? Okay, we've only got 2 more choices, and one's going to be a question if you look at that. Okay, you shouldn't have to go on a diet to lose weight. What should you do? Well, you should probably exercise. Okay, you probably don't have to go on a diet to lose weight. Okay, if you, well, there's a lot of research going on here with this. Okay, there's a lot of research. Okay, all right, last one here. We know this is a question, and there's only one choice to go. How much do we have to pay to join the gym? Okay, to join the gym. Okay, there you go. Those are your answers for that. Okay, so please make sure you go over this. Okay, I gave you all the answers, so hopefully you can just study those. Okay, and you can practice a little bit before you take the test this week. Okay, so those are your answers right there. Okay, if you have any, what do we got here? Did I write E down here? Oh my goodness, what do we got going on there? Oh, we better have to change that a little bit. James, bad. You shouldn't exercise after a big meal. Why not? Why shouldn't we do that? All right, that's kind of weird. All right, so let me go back here and let's erase this. Goodness gracious, I would have gotten that wrong. Can you believe that? All right, so I guess this would be C, which is kind of strange because I usually go for long walks after big meals anyway, so it's kind of exercise. I would say that would, weird. Anyway, there are your answers right there. Okay, so that's it. So if you guys have any questions about your grammar points or anything like that, please feel free to send Kakao Talk messages. Okay, otherwise, that's basically it. You guys do have one more conversation practice, but again, we will not be able to do that very well. So I'm going to wrap this up. Okay, that's a wrap, you guys. Hopefully you guys will listen to it. You guys will do a good job on your test. Okay, so other than that, you guys have a great week, and remember, there is no class on Tuesday, so take a rest during our class time, and I will see you guys next time. Okay, see you later.